Hi guys, it's John for the Fish Keepers here. Tonight what we're going to do is we're going to have a quick chat with Dave Poole from FishScience about one of the newest foods that he's just brought out, and it's the shrimp sticks. So we're just going to keep this short and sweet. I've got some questions put down that we're going to just fire it to Dave and see what he's got to say about it. And let's find out more about the new food that's out there. So, okay, Dave, thanks for joining us. And the first question that I've got tonight then is why have FishScience introduced a food for freshwater shrimps, first of all?
A lot of that was down to people requesting it. We've got a great following on amongst fish keepers for the FishScience range. People like the idea of natural foods that recreate the diet that fish would eat naturally in the wild, and we just want to replicate that with the shrimp sticks.
Okay, that makes sense. So how are the FishScience shrimp sticks different? What makes them different from other foods out there?
Yeah, the formula is the main difference. We've tried to replicate the sort of diet that shrimps would naturally eat. So the formula itself is very rich in plant and algae ingredients. So we've included things like spirulina algae, chlorella algae, kelp. We've got alfalfa, we've got spinach in there. So it's a really nice vegetable-y mix that the shrimp do really well on. We've also tried to ensure that we've got optimal levels of calcium and other minerals. And a great way of doing that is by including things like shrimp and krill meal in the diet, which sounds a little bit cannibalistic, but that's in nature. The shrimps eat the carapace of another shrimp, or even their own as they're growing. So we're again trying to replicate what happens. And included in that mix, we've got the color pigments. So we've got things like the black and the red and the yellow pigments included in the nutrients that are used. So you end up with brightly colored and really healthy looking shrimps.
Okay. So you've used everything you've learned from the fish food side of it and just put it into a shrimp food. Perfect.
That's exactly it. Yes, exactly.
So why did you go with a stick format then and not like a wafer or anything?
We looked at a range of different formats for the food. The original one we had was a tiny little granule, which was great, but the shrimps tended to pick it up and disappear to all corners of the tank with their own little granule and then leave it there and then come back for another one. So we ended up, after speaking to experts in keeping shrimps, we ended up with a stick that was quite dense, so it sinks down to the bottom to allow you to kind of target where the fish are, where the shrimps are going to feed. It stays in a stick format for quite a period of time, so the shrimps can graze on it and pick bits of food off it. And we found that by having these sticks around about 3 to 4 millimeters in length, they were just big enough so that you could get them to the bottom, and they're just too big for the shrimps to easily carry around the tank. In addition, what we've done is we've included a spatula in the food, so in with the food pack. So again, people can not only get the sticks down to the bottom, but they can carefully measure out the amount they feed, so they're not overfeeding.
Yeah, it saves them having to stick their hands in, and the moisture for your fingers can affect the food over time as well.
It can very quickly, yeah. If you get moisture in there, then you start introducing or allowing bugs and fungi and bacteria to start to grow.
Was it the better food that had the spatula, wasn't it?
Again, yeah, and it's very similar. People where they want targeted feeding, the spatula gives you that opportunity to just be a little bit more careful and precise with what you feed and when you feed it.
Yeah, brilliant idea. Right, what pack size is the food going to be available in them?
We've gone for just one pack size. We've got a 100 ml pot, and that pot contains about 60 grams of food. So it's quite dense. It's actually I think one of the densest foods that we do to try and get that quick sink to where the shrimps are actually going to feed.
So it really is heavier than that normal, like compared to the tub size for fish food, there is a big difference in the weight.
I mean, certainly if you look at the flake foods are 20 grams in 100 mil. If you look at some of the tablets we do, they're only 50 or 55 grams. So it's a dense food, but
Yeah,
that suits the needs for the shrimp, gets it down there, gets to where they can eat it.
exactly. Perfect. Right, okay. Where about can we get it then?
It's available from stores around the country, certainly in the UK and elsewhere in Europe now, and in Dubai.
Okay.
Food is a recent introduction, so it's taking a while just for the shops to get it. But certainly, most of the stores that stock the FishScience range have jumped at the new shrimp sticks and are finding it's really good. You know, the feedback has been excellent on the food.
Okay, and if you're a shop and you're looking to be able to stock it, do they contact yourself or do they go through their existing supplier?
They would go through their existing supplier, but if people are having problems, just get in touch with FishScience, and we can always sort out where they can actually source the foods from.
Fantastic. Okay, brilliant, Dave. Like I said, we're just keeping this one short and sweet. Thanks very much, Dave.
You're welcome. Thank you.